Wine for Wishes is almost here. Right now, it's a Wine for Wishes showcase on the Live 88.5 Morning Startup.
Pete Rainville's joining us in studio because Wine for Wishes is coming up, and it is your first time, sir, at Wine for Wishes, bringing Flying Canoe Hard Cider.
Right on.
All right, so obviously you're bringing the flagship product. What can we expect from Flying Canoe?
What can you expect from Flying Canoe? Let's see. It's 100% totally local. We use all of the apples from Smythe's Orchard, which is the original McIntosh orchard. So I would
the original.
Yeah, the original orchard where John McIntosh discovered the apple in 1811. Because of that, we're using about 50% McIntosh apples in our product, and then the rest of the 50% is a mix of different apples, but all local.
What about Red Delicious?
A little bit.
That's the only one I could think of at the top of my head.
Cortland, Spartan, Lobo, all these different apples
Nice.
are used, but we also use some cider apples as well to give us a certain tannin and some acidity.
Right.
But the rest of the apples are about 50% Mac.
And what does this pair well with food-wise when you think of walking around at Wine for Wishes and sampling? What does the Flying Canoe Hard Cider go with?
Salads really well, where you can actually use the apples in the salad, so it enhances the salad. We've actually made apple vinaigrettes as well that go on the salad. You don't do this all at the same time because it'd be a bit overwhelmingly apple-y. We marinate it in meats like pork. We've tried steak as well.
Right.
Essentially just using a little steak spice, some cider, and some brown sugar. Mix it all together, let it sit for a few hours, and it's awesomely delicious on the barbecue. There's so many things.
Yeah.
And you brought in a sample for us this morning, and it falls under that I like this because it's not ridiculously sweet description, which I hate using that description, but I think that's what this is.
True. So what we do is we dry out the cider completely, and then we have a process where we re-enter some of the sweetness.
Okay.
Using a very natural process without having to use sugars. That brings our sugar level to about 29 grams per liter, whereas some of the other more well-known brands, international brands, can be 4 to 5 times that.
Really?
Yeah, like an 89 grams.
Some of them, there is one that is about 89, 90 grams per liter, yeah.
Where does the name come from? I mean, I would love to be in a flying canoe, but where does that come from?
If you have a few of them, you'll probably end up in a flying canoe, I'm sure. Flying canoe is essentially a French-Canadian story that was told to me by my grandfather. My background is French-Canadian, and parts of my family lived in Lower Town, Byward Market, and also in Gatineau. They were loggers many, many generations ago. And one of the stories is called Flying Canoe. That's an English translation of a French story called Chasse Galerie, which is essentially a bunch of loggers way up north in the Gatineaus making a deal with the devil to make it back to their families on New Year's Eve. So the devil says, essentially, we'll give you a flying magical canoe to get back to your family, but you can't do certain things. And, of course, they meet their families. They have a few drinks, and they get a little silly. And on the way back, they contradict, essentially, the deal that they had with the devil. And there's variations on the ending of the story, but one of them is that the devil takes their souls and crashes their canoe. The other one, which I favor a little bit, is that he brings them back to their logging camp, but gives them a ridiculously painful hangover. So essentially the story is be responsible. And it's one of the things that we promote as well is drinking responsibly. So we thought that would be a great tie-in.
I love that. And it's so local. You just made it even more local.
It's a local story, local apples, and we're a local cidery. We're literally around the corner from your studio on Colonnade Road. Makes it easy to grab some samples and bring them to you right off the line. So,
Who thought we'd be talking about Boucheron this early in the morning? Pete Rainville, thanks so much for joining us. Can't wait to see you and try more Flying Canoe at Wine for Wishes.
You're very welcome, and I look forward to it.